Murli Notes, 23rd August 2023. God, the one who puts right what has been spoilt, is the naive one. In a world where people are primarily interested in exploiting others, taking advantage, and enriching themselves at the expense of others, there is no value for purity. Purity means immunity from inhumane actions. In a world of predators and prey, the power of force is respected more than any other power. God is called the naive one, who gives great treasure to the poor and the downtrodden. You also know all the knowledge and the pictures that were made on the basis of it. No one knows that the best metaphor for the history of the world is an inverted tree. The knowledge of the world as an eternally and identically repeating film and an inverted tree that also continuously repeats itself also cannot be found in any scientific model of the world. However, there are some indications in scientific inquiry and in ancient mythology and beliefs that support and verify this concept. This information has been given by God, and the writing of it is to be found in the Bhagavad Gita. Even though the Gita had been falsified at the beginning of the Iron Age, there is enough truth still remaining that when God gives the knowledge once again, it can be reconstructed and verified. The amount of truth is defined as 1 teaspoon of salt in flatbread dough. This is equivalent to about 5%. Since the Gita is 700 lines, 5% is 35 lines. The Murlis contain selected quotes from the Gita that refer to those 35 lines. This is sufficient to prove the knowledge to those who consider Scripture to be truth. Religious authorities are aware that the Bhagavad Gita is the most sacred of all texts. Maya is that which prevents your connection and communion with God. The definition of Maya is anything that is perceived through sense perception, anything material, people, places, and objects. Yoga is possible for someone who is completely neutral in the face of perception of human interaction in terms of its goodness or badness. It is said that Maya attacks you through attraction and terror, liking and disliking. The mind that gets attracted and repelled is a trapped mind. The trapped mind cannot maintain stable, focused concentration on God. In general, the world causes sorrow because of the culture of predators and prey. There is a spiritual law that if you function as a predator and harm others mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, socially, or in any other way, you will certainly die in great pain and suffering proportional to the harm you have done. The second half of this law is that if others have harmed you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, socially, or in any other way, you will also live and die in great pain and suffering unless you remain neutral regarding the damage you have sustained. The second half of this law is not given much attention, however, it is the most important. This is difficult because a percentage of the trauma you sustain as a child or an innocent or moral person goes directly to your subconscious, and you have no control over whether or not you are neutral about it. Therefore, yoga is particularly useful in that it causes trauma that went direct to the subconscious to surface to the conscious mind, and there you can process it. This requires the powers of yoga. You have to endure the pain, choose not to suffer. You have to discern the deeper meaning of the test, having considered all trauma as nothing other than a test, which exists for the purpose of strengthening you and making you experienced. You work with yoga to the point of neutralizing the power of the offending incidents to trap you in repulsion. This is the meaning of cleaning the chit. Om Shanti.